Hello folks, and good morning to you all as we begin our second day here in Acadia National Park. Have you heard of John D. Rockefeller or the Rockefeller family? John D. Rockefeller was what people consider to be the richest man to ever live in the modern age, who accumulated his own Standard Oil empire, amassing a huge, unimaginable amount of wealth. He had his own family, and his son, John D. Rockefeller Jr., inherited a lot of his wealth. And what did he do? He did many things, but one thing he did was impact tremendously the Acadia National Park that we see today. He loved this area of Maine, and he wanted to preserve its nature as best as it possibly could be preserved. And he lived during the time when the automobile was taking shape as the dominant form of transportation. No longer did people really rely on the horse and carriage all too much. But he wanted to do something to change that. And so he donated a huge amount of money to Acadia National Park so that an extensive system, a network of carriage roads could be developed here. And if you take a visit to Acadia National Park, you will find this series of carriage roads all across the park. I guess generally to the west of that Park Loop Road that we traveled through yesterday. From 1913 to 1940, these road networks were built and designed not for cars, but for either pedestrians or originally carriages. And today they're used for hiking and biking all across this park. And you have that natural Acadia beauty all abound here, ever so, wherever you go on these trails, these carriage roads. The carriage roads you're going to find here at Acadia National Park are widely regarded as some of the best preserved, most extensive, and just all around most pleasant carriage roads in the whole country. One of these such carriage roads is called the Witch Hole Pond Carriage Road, and that's because we're looking at Witch Hole Pond. I don't see any witches, nor do I see any holes, but the special thing about the ponds and lakes here in Acadia is that they're used as public water storage. Along other carriage roads, you might find yourself walking across bridges preserved from those days when these carriage roads were first built. And you can see, as you walk, the automobile roads right perpendicular from you. So of course, although the automobile dominates this park now, you could see that contrast between old and new here. We have not a moment to waste here. Like I said yesterday, it's a pattern with a lot of national parks in that 2 days is just not going to cover it. So as much as we're going to do as much as we can today here in Acadia on our final day here, just know there is so much more of this park that we will just simply not be able to cover. But with that said, let us explore as much as we can here at Acadia. Isn't this just such a legendary view? We have just hiked up a huge mountain, part of the Beehive Trail, and it's right along that Park Loop Road that we visited yesterday. It was a bit rainy and damp, so the park rangers told us all, no, probably not advisable to go up here. But today, given that it's such a sunny, or at least partly cloudy, day, this is ours to conquer. And that's that sandy beach, that one strip of sand in the whole rocky coastline. it's a very precarious climb. It's not just using your feet. You have to hang on to these metal bars as a ladder just to get up. It is that steep and rugged. But it's so fun too. Well, here we have another adventuring moment. I just got off the Beehive Loop. What an amazing place to find some beautiful views here in Acadia. But now we're here in what we believe is the bowl. And, well, I guess it kind of makes sense. There's the bowl of water here, the little pond. So yeah, here's to adventuring. Next time you see me, we will be ascending one of the great wonders of Acadia National Park. I'll leave it there for now. Now it's clear to see. We are in the middle of the woods. There is this one car trail designed for automobiles. Unfortunately for us, I would have had to pay an exorbitant fee for a reservation here just to drive all the way up to where this road leads. Luckily though, I found a very clutch location to park my car, and so just in a little extra distance doesn't hurt, and we're walking this way up. I don't know how far the distance is. I don't know at what point the car road turns into a pedestrian road. But by the end of this video, you will see the majestic view which lays at whatever summit we're going towards. There is a clear reason that I am saving this little location in Acadia for last. Yeah, I believe we are scaling that. Oh yeah. I mean, even from this point, you can really see great views of the surrounding waters. Look at all those islands in the distance. But yeah, let's begin our real journey upwards towards Cadillac Mountain. Well, we made it to the summit of Cadillac Mountain. Nah, I'm just messing with ya. That's the summit. We still got a ways to go. After approximately 2 hours of non-stop uphill walking at over 1,500 feet above sea level, we have, without a doubt, reached the summit of Cadillac Mountain. And let me tell you, it feels amazing. And yes, there's a lot of people at the summit, but don't let that fool you. They all took their car. They took the easy way up. We, on the coverage project, well, we walked up the whole way to see this amazing view. Now at this altitude, at this peak, you're not gonna find even many coniferous trees. Sure, you might find a few small shrubs, but that's the extent of what grows here. At most, you're gonna find the moss and the little summit shrubs. Because right now it's a bit chillier than at the foot of the mountain. It's also a lot windier. Now we haven't just reached the peak of Cadillac Mountain. We have also reached the highest point one can go on the Atlantic seaboard. That's right, this is the highest point on the Atlantic coast. And so we can finally say on the coverage project, we have achieved such a feat. What an exciting time we have had here at Acadia National Park. Also, what an accomplishment we have made. 3 legitimate peaks of mountains in 2 days? I guess we could call ourselves pretty avid mountain climbers at this point. You could essentially call Acadia National Park the crown jewel of natural beauty here in New England. You're not going to find many places in America with such unspoiled, preserved beauty of a coastline. We are technically on the Atlantic coast. The Atlantic Ocean is right over there. Having reached the peak of our adventure here today, all I can say is I am proud to call Acadia National Park our 10th national park visited on the coverage project. Yes, double digits. What an exciting time. Well, I'd like to descend this Cadillac mountain now. It's gonna take a good hour or 2 to get down there, but this site is totally worth it, and I recommend everybody take a trip, whether it's by car or on foot, to Cadillac Mountain here at Acadia. So overlooking such a beautiful view of the Acadia Islands into the Atlantic here at Acadia National Park. More travels to come. I will see you at the next location.